I'm Loretta Posey, and I'm a Ute Mountain Ute Indian from White Mesa, Utah. My great-great-grandpa was Posey. My grandfather was Jess Posey. Dad was McKean Posey. And my grandmas were May White and Jane White, and my mom, Irma Lehigh. My grandpa on my mom's side was Abe Lehigh Sr., and my grandmother was Helena Catsey. I lived in, sometimes in the summer up with my grandparents who lived at Ellen Canyon, and also when we all lived in Westwater, we used to live there too, my parents, my mom and her family, and the rest of White Mesa people. We lived there for quite a while until they moved us down to White Mesa, where they were building homes for the people of White Mesa. And my ancestors all lived up Allen Canyon, and they raised corn, had horses, and other vegetables. And they hunted up in Bears Ears. The family picked piñons, and they got sumac for their baskets to make the weave baskets. They traveled back and forth from White Mesa to Allen Canyon because some of the family had sheep and horses whom they had to take back and forth for the summer or for the winter months that go back to White Mesa. We moved to White Mesa, and that's where we've been living at since. I had 3 sons, one's deceased, and I have 1 daughter, granddaughters and grandsons, and I have a lot of great-grandchildren. Also, I worked with the Ute language with the late Mary Jane Yancey. She was my cousin, sister, friend. She worked there teaching at the elementary school, teaching the Ute language to the grade school kids. And she made me a substitute whenever she couldn't make it. So I subbed for her, and I taught the Ute language also. And then we did it at the middle school too in Blandon. We did the history book too with Eldine Ketchum and Mary Jane Yancey, the late Mary Jane Yancey, and myself, Loretta Posey. We worked on the dictionary with Brian Stubbs, the linguist. Did that with the help of the prayer, to have us understand some of the words that we couldn't remember, but when they came to us, and the prayer really helps, because the words that we couldn't remember, it came to us, and we said it, and we worked on it for quite a while. Also, we did the history book. Some of the elders from White Mesa and the people from White Mesa worked on it, or gave their, I can't think of the professor, Bob McPherson's the one that went around and got information from the people, and we got the history book done, and it's really important that we know our Ute language and our Ute culture. There, we have the bear dance that we have every fall, and the kids, they need to as an infant, I guess you really have to speak to them in their youth language to make them understand what it is, and they'll understand. When they're growing up, they learn how to say some words, you know, and we want all the little kids and some of the people that don't understand to learn it. Because it's important that we know it, because some of the elders, you know, they like to be talked to in Ute. And if you understand it, you know, they enjoy it. And I think it's really important that we do that. And also, I'm on the UDB board, and my late cousin, Mary Jane Yazzie, she's the one that told me. She said she kept stressing to Gavin to put me on the board, but at that time I used to just go with her to her meetings, and she kept asking Gavin and them to put me on the board, but it was quite a while before it happened. Anyway, she was there. So we went to all her coalition meetings and her UDB board meetings, and we traveled to Bears Ears too. And it was unfortunate that she had to pass away at that time, when she was the one that went and with her grandson Alejandro. They went up to Washington, and they brought the totem pole back down with the people that made it from the Lummi tribe. And she's the one that took it to Bears Ears when we were there for the gathering. She was really happy to know that it was there. She kept telling us to touch it, you know, because it was, said it's a real good totem pole that gives all blessings. And but we were all there, and we were happy to be there up in Bears Ears, because that place is really a unique place, real peaceful, quiet. Deers are coming around, walking around like, you know, they're not afraid of anybody. They just came out and just like they were there to just enjoy everybody. And we enjoyed the deers and the scene gathering that was going on there, all the bear dance that they did, her and Stella Aitu, the late Stella Aitu. And we even had deer meat, since that was our custom. We as youth people, we enjoyed deer meat because all our young late uncles and grandpas and our dad and everyone, you know, they all were hunters, and they hunted deer, and that's what they got in the late October. And you know, it was good. Malcolm's the one that went and got the deer that time we had the gathering up there. And it was good, and also all the board members were up there doing certain things. And I'm glad to be on the board, because after my late cousin Mary passed away, Malcolm wanted me to be on the board, so they selected me to be on the board over at the 12 Casino. But it's really important that we have our culture, our youth language, and we keep that all going. That way all the young ones will be doing that when learning all the things that the youths do and learning their customs and their traditions and doing the bear dance and speaking the language, being respectful to each other. We were taught to listen to our grandparents, our mother, our parents. That way we knew how to act around them, and we need to know where we come from and whom we come from.